Red carpet and rebellion makes you wonder if the established ones they ain't out to get ya, 'cause you're a mile away. I heard a siren, a city warning. They said a new dawn arrives in the morning, so I wait out tonight for the new sunrise. So leave me to rest within an aberration. I woke up and limited colossally by thinking, and I ran through the streets where I break down. There ain't no money, there ain't no time. Yeah, I'm out of my mind. Don't wanna waste this away. Can't stop me. Stay when I am, stay when I'm not. Configuration of the American dream. The power's dying, the streets are burning. The red horizon keep crashing through the morning, and there's no forgiveness. All that blood, it's blood here. Social discontent, here's the Puritan. All Puritanic shit. It's like a peasant uprising. There ain't no money, there ain't no time. Yeah, I'm out of my mind. Don't wanna waste this away. Stay when I am, stay when I'm not. Configuration of the American
What's up, bros? Welcome to the new Millennium podcast. I'm your host, and man, bros, it's almost here. 2017 is right around the corner, and all I can say is, well, time flies, bro. I mean, like people like me and Jazz, even, you look at us as like we're sort of doing that. By now, I mean, we've been graduated, and we're still here, and we're doing things. That's really cool, bro. Today, I finally have my special guest, 3D Darren the Dragon. That's right, bros. I went back to his house over in Connecticut, did this interview all over again, just for you guys, the listeners of the No Millennium podcast, where it's always 420 bros. And right now I'm rolling up some good weed, and just coming down off of just a great weekend, bro. I mean, just had such a good fun time. We went to see this rock concert. It was me, Coco Bandicoot, and Daniel Dingo. All right, think of that trio. And yeah, we're just going out, and Daniel Dingo is like wilder than ever. Like he's like, the wildest one out of all of us. Just down in Tampa, bro, at the Orpheum. A lot of local rock bands doing their thing. It was a fun gig, bro. It was, I had a great time out there. And then on Sunday, I went out with my son, and we went to the aquarium. and it's just so different from how it was like when I was a younger guy, and you never know. I mean, you think of the underwater world, and you think the typical stuff, sharks and fish, but it's very interesting, like the things that you find under the water. I think I might do a podcast on something like that, like underwater creatures and things like that. That's kind of the direction that I kind of want to go with this podcast. I don't always want it to be about wrestling or XTV related things, but I was hoping that it could sort of transcend you know to different things, which is ultimately the point that everybody wants to do anyways. In the long run, I was sitting with Miss Martha and just a whole bunch of the guys for Thanksgiving, and we recorded this massive episode of 2GN, which is so popular right now on the XTV East Coast channels. Romy just came in and just trumped everybody and just has the recording of the year. It's already been said. I mean, and everybody's doing podcasts, and Romy just, he's just doing his thing, and props to Romy. He had everybody there, and Miss Martha just touched on the fact that we're just trying to transcend different genres and different races and different everythings, bros. And I think we can. I think that we have the power to. I mean, you have to think about all these different types of characters that are evolving in XTV. That's what I was talking about at the beginning. It's just like, you have myself, you have Jasmar, and guys on that level, and then it's just like, the newer guys too. Justin Jr. was there, and he's definitely getting over Renee Young. She's so funny, bro. It's just crazy, how this talent just comes out of nowhere, and just sort of blossoms into this cavalcade of of of, of extreme awesomeness. I don't even know how to put it, bros. But yeah, it's great stuff. My conversation with Dairo was great, bro. He's got this great house over in Connecticut, and we were just talking about mostly his ideas of what's going to be considered to be the NXTV brand. And I was sitting with a couple of guys earlier, and we sort of heard Romy and Steve-O heading towards what it was, but nobody mentioned any names, and I'm glad they didn't, bro. We try to keep everything under wraps. This is a podcast that I've been trying to get out to you guys for a long time, because I think that it's going to create discussion about the future of XTV, and more so the newer stars. And 3D knows a whole lot about that. Romy was talking to Steve-O about it being, 3D being the commissioner of NXTV, which you're going to hear a whole lot about in this special podcast that I did, going all the way to Connecticut to see my good friend Darren the Dragon. But also, what you guys need to know about? You guys need to know about the Alec Trevelyan workout program. I know, bros. You always hear me talking about it at the beginning of every podcast, but that's because it works. It's worked for me. It's worked for Coco. She's trying it. She talks about it. She was talking about it the whole weekend. When we were out in Tampa. In places like the Orpheum. It helps me be able to keep up with my son, and helps me run out with these newcomers, and be able to put on hell of a matches for your entertainment. There's so many other people who have benefited from the Alex Trevelyan program, and now you have this special discount for Christmas coming up when you go into the Alex Trevelyan 006 app. For the first time, all first-time buyers, if you type in his promo code ALEC, his name Alec, you get 50% off of the first month of joining the Alex Trevelyan workout program for Christmas. So, it seems like everybody's in a holly jolly Christmas spirit. I know I am. I expect great things this Christmas season. It looks like it's going to be a whole lot of fun, exactly how it's been so much fun the whole year. And why not kick out 2017 with a huge bang by getting in shape for the Alec Trevelyan workout program. Just download the 006 app. It's easy, and remember, all the first-time buyers for this month gets the 50% off for their first month. So go online and try it right now. All right, now here's my special interview with Darren the Dragon. So yeah, bro, we're trying this again. Third try. It's crazy though, bro. We tried to record this a couple times, and it just didn't work. And then, not only that, but this is like the second time that I, come to your house. It's cursed. It's like we're not supposed to, be together or something like that. I don't know, bro. It's like completely strange. But 3D, Darren the Dragon is here. And what's going on, man? Like, how are you feeling? Oh man, I feel great. Better than ever. We gotta kind of be quiet because the kids in there sleeping and everything. But everything is good, Mel. NXTV, is definitely shaping up to be, a big deal. I wanted to talk about that. Like, tell people what NXTV actually is. Well, sure, yeah. It's just something where we're gonna be able to have you know a plethora of new stars, to be able to come in, to XTV and be able to make a name for themselves. Because, as you know, and so many other guys, both on the East Coast and the West Coast, know, when you come into XTV, you're not automatically accepted, so to speak. You sort of kind of like you're going to be rejected before you're accepted, a lot of times, and you have to really work hard to prove yourself. And so this is a, platform and a basis where, people can do that. Miss Martha, has put me in charge of, being, the head of things, and, handling, the administrative processes, as far as things. She's even bringing back, a whole lot of old stars, people like Gorgon Gordon, who's going to be, in charge of, talent relations. As far as this, it's going to be something completely different from, XTV, the main card. That's so interesting, bro. Like, taking it to another level. Because I remember, I was sitting with Miss Martha the other day, and she was talking about how, she just wanted XTV to have these different, sort of audiences, and demographics. Exactly. She's got a great mind for this, and you got to think. She's been around, Ernest, all these years. Just soaking up the knowledge and soaking up the XTV wave, and her being a woman. I think she's just been doing a great job as commissioner of XTV. She has that aura where you don't want to disrespect her. She's so nice to everybody. You would actually feel bad, if you disrespected her. There's been a couple of times where she's gotten hit and everything, but she takes it like a champion, and there was even once upon a time where she was gonna actually get into the ring, but she doesn't have to do that now. She's gotten to the point where she doesn't have to climb up that way, because she's over. She's super over, bro. Like, she's like, probably gonna be named probably MVP. Or something along those lines. I don't know, rookie of the year or something. I don't know if she's a rookie or whatever, but she's fairly new. Yeah, she's definitely not a rookie. That's what I mean. She's been coming in. She's been around probably since, well, it goes way back, because Justin used to mention her, a long time ago, and then she finally made an appearance, and she did the whole thing. It's brilliant the way that that she was brought in, and that's what NXTV is all about. It's all about just bringing in different guys with interesting perspectives. And I think that once the West Coast gets a hold of this, and get a grasp of it, they're definitely gonna jump on the bandwagon, and it'll be two separate things. It'll be like, okay, we're gonna play the game. What do you want to do? You want to do XTV or NXTV? And whether or not it's a very popular thing. Here on the East Coast, we plan on making it that thing. Because the whole time, these guys, it's like, or even, if the East Coast, starts to lack off and the West Coast starts to play, you have to look at it as the whole time, guys are getting over, because, these shows are going to be taped and filmed and uploaded on the East Coast channel. And so that we'll be making a record of this, and the thought process is that it's supposed to be like the old days. They want to go through and have it streamed and everything. It's really remarkable what they're doing. So you're saying like it's gonna be like kind of like the old pay-per-view days where we weren't necessarily sitting there recording on TV, but we were actually streaming it from the computer. Exactly. That's exactly what that is. And she's just getting all the tidbits. Everything is being written down, and different talents are being found every day. And I personally definitely hope that the West Coast would take heed to this, because or jump on the bandwagon, so to speak, because it's definitely going to be something big. I mean, they got so many guys. Renee Young is over there. She's really getting over. The Who Monsters kid. Just so many guys. Even Trunks' daughter. She can have a role. She doesn't have to be a wrestler, but she could be a personality. A backstage interviewer, or a timekeeper. Or some type of like a ring announcer. But not at the booth, but like inside the ring introducing, because you just got that kind of thing, that's what would throw it off. I mean, I was a ring announcer, that's just the type of thing that that new guys do to get over. You have to be creative. You have to find your way into XTV. You have to find your niche. I mean, you take a look at yourself, and you were a part of SIDE. That's why you were, kind of able to get over. You still have to be good. It's not necessarily saying, just because you have this backstoried history that you're necessarily going to be, a big deal, because some people, had that history and they didn't. People always talk about destruction all the time. Exactly. Who's a guy who I would like to talk to and get on this show, and think about his perspective, and talk about his story. Do you think that he would be somebody who could probably work in the next TV? Absolutely, he would. He could definitely work, because NXTV is gonna show the realness of what it was. I think that it'll have that similarity to what the WWE was. When it's just that pure wrestling, and it's not all about the hating and the bashing. It's just gonna be the old school kind of way, like how it was when AVW used to do WWE with the toys, and with when Miss Bridget would wrestle, and things like that. During those times when it was just about the wrestling, and it wasn't about the somewhat joking, kind of goofy aspect of it. I mean, XTV is great. It's an awesome thing, but certain people, their particular styles is just kind of hard to fit in. When XTV is so hardcore and just like so smash mouth. Some guys who are very talented, if you give them the time of day, could get over. But what do you think about like somebody who, let's just say that somebody's really hot, a really hot ticket at XTV's NXTV, and say they're really popular there. What about that transition over to the main card? Like, would that necessarily get over? Well, that's the ultimate question, and that's what makes it interesting, because for some guys it might, but for some guys it might not. It's just a gamble, and there's always just going to be an influx of talent. People are going to be getting over down here. We're going to keep some guys down here, and when the time is right, they'll move up to the main roster. There's actually guys who were on the main roster, who we've already discussed that they're going to be coming to NXTV, because they're not of that really upper echelon, of guys, and it's just like, you know, without taking them completely out of the picture, without taking them away, we're giving them away, to make themselves important, and it kind of works out for them because when they get into NXTV with the rookies, they're going to have that name value already because people are going to know who they are, which is going to also make it interesting. It's not going to be just a bunch of rookies. It's actually guys who you already know. And who would some of these names be? Well, I mean, everybody's name is not official. We're still looking into everything. Of course, a whole lot of the guys who you see, like I named, Monsters Kid, and people like Lucky. Well, Who Monsters Kid's not on the main roster, but somebody like Lucky, I think, would be, a good person. Chris Major, David B. Boy, people like that, who are, already, they're already kind of established, but they just haven't, met that marquee moment yet to, really prove themselves to be, of of the end guys. Do you think that Chris Major is somebody who hasn't proven himself? I mean, here's a guy who's been like heavyweight champion, and I remember he had this tremendous title run, and nobody could beat him. As a matter of fact, I don't even know how he lost the title. HTV happens so fast sometimes, and storylines don't get continued. But he was the champion for a long time, and it's like it's terrible. Like sometimes a person will be the champion, like Baby. She was the last women's champion, and she was beating everybody and now with this hiatus, it's like, is she still going to be the women's champion? Is that women's championship going to matter? It's not really fair to the champion. Yeah, um, we would like that to be prevented. Those things, happen so many times in HTV. Things getting erased, and just all types of glitches, and just unfortunate events. But the way Miss Arthur and I look at it is, this is something that is being established, here in the comfort of our own home. Before, it was the clamor of this and that, and I don't know, but I just feel like there's more control here, and so that's the best we can do. I mean, we don't even have the game yet, and we don't even know how it's set up. It's just the idea, but I don't see why it couldn't work. We don't know how many guys are actually available on the memory card, like how many people you can actually create. But if it's anything like it was in 2013, then you'll be able to create guys on a separate memory card, which will be like the NXTV guys on that memory card, and then we will just switch back and forth. I think that'll be kind of hard though. I mean, because if you do that, then it's like, how do you, like, if the guy moves up, how are you gonna copy him over? Are you gonna recreate him? That could be dangerous. Well, it's like I said, we haven't completely worked out the kinks, but that's just the idea behind behind it thus far. Lots of kinks and glitches, still need to be worked out, but it's still an idea. It's a hell of an idea, bro. It's kind of like what the WWE has with NXT, and and it is a great idea, a good way to bring in new people. I mean, look at how many people have gotten over that have come from there. Exactly, a place that can show your skills, and it's kind of gonna be like the new bricks, because the XTV main roster is so special that that just needs to be its own thing. Bob and the Killer, those guys, are such marquee guys, that
you shouldn't be able to see those. I like what Killer is doing with with not being on the scene all the time, because he is that special. He is Hulk Hogan. So you just have to be able to keep those things special. When they had the bricks, it was cool for what it was. But how many times can you see Lance wrestle, or Bob wrestle? It's just like it's cool for what it was, but in this day and age, the way it is now, the business is changing, and NXTV is going to be a way for newer guys to get over, and the older guys to stay special, and grow into the legends that they already are. That's a great point, bro. So tell us about like who are some of the guys who are potentials for NXTV. Who are some of the rookies that you guys have already scouted? Well, most definitely, I think that one of the biggest, I don't know what the inspiration was behind this, honestly, but I tell you what, we had our eyes on Jackie Briggs and Cassie Cage, who are going to be hot, and people haven't even met Cassie Cage. I'm so looking forward to having her. Yeah, she's great. She's smart, she's witty, she's funny, and both of these girls are I think are going to be like marquee factors in NXTV, just because of their styles, and it's made to be organic, these guys are, these girls are very familiar with each other, they've done the Mortal Kombat thing together, and they've lived that life, Mortal Kombat has continued past when it passed through, here in XTV all those years ago, so, now it's come back, and now these young girls are representing for their fathers, Johnny Cage is Cassie's dad, and of course, Jax, who you met was, was Jackie's dad. So, it's just pretty interesting, when you put it that way, when, there's so many more guys, Justin Jr., he's in the works, he's training at it, he really takes it serious. He wants to be like an in-ring competitor. He's so determined on being better than his father, he's saying things like, he feels like, his father always made excuses, he didn't want to, he don't want to, be a wrestler. He just wanted to be an announcer, and he just feels like, his father, just didn't, he always made too many excuses, and he didn't go as hard as he could, and Justin Jr. feels like he can go harder and farther than his father.
Got the feeling
mentioned David B-Boy. Yeah, sure. B-Boy. He actually, hit us up, and he was just like, you know, I want to be a part of, NXTV. I've got this guy, his name's Sketch. I feel like we can do great things. I feel like, he can kind of, rejuvenate my status, and I can bring him up to a status, and we can really help each other, and, he wants to form a tag team with this guy, so, of course, we're all for it. He wants to reinvent himself. He feels like people haven't, really respected him, and, he wants a shot, and, excuse me, anybody who wants a shot, anybody who wants a chance, they're more than welcome, to being a part of NXTV. I mean, people don't discriminate, like we said, Justin Jr., he's 16, he's going to be 17 soon, and, he's starting it out real young, and he just, he doesn't care, he just doesn't care, and I feel like, he can be, one of the main attractions. Well, he's really, really big right now. I mean, people look forward to, what he has to say, and he makes good points. He's not like a gimmick. Exactly. He really stands on his own, and that's what's very special about him. It's crazy, but you think about it, it's Justin's son. He would have to be that impressive. It's just like O'Shea Jackson Jr. I just looked at my phone and I'm like, whoa, bro, he's gonna be on Talk Is Jericho. And it's just like, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's crazy as hell, but he has that same effect. You look at Ice Cube, who's this, this grand legend, who's just done all these massive things, has all these, great achievements over the years, and then, here comes the kid, and, he's just like, picking up where Dad left off. Exactly. So, and taking it to a new stratosphere, that's the whole thing about it. He can't be denied. And so that's what that's what it's all about, in NXTV, just giving guys a shot, and making them look good and not making them look bad. It's all on them. So, we talked earlier about destruction. A guy like him, would definitely fit in perfectly, with NXTV. What do you think about like the booking, because I heard that you had some like very interesting perspectives about moving forward in NXT. I mean NXTV. I'm getting all my letters confused. Well, yeah, I just think that moving forward, guys, really should think about their characters. It's like I said, as far as myself, I came in as Spyro the Dragon. I'm just this little, cute little whatever, fine. But over time, I knew that I couldn't stay that. I knew I had to evolve and grow up, and I think that's why my voice started to change. And get deeper. It was just supposed to represent, that now I'm really taking on the dragon, type of character, and I was still trying to find myself throughout the years. But I eventually found my niche. I got with artists, and with who was we with? It was artists. It was me, and it was Chris. Yeah, that's right. We was Chris Major, and we were all together. How could I forget Chris? Anyways, he's gonna be so pissed. I know, man. I know, but yeah, so once I got with those guys, it made sense to me. I had a place, because I was 3D, and I was doing the whole Triple H thing, for years, and it was a funny thing, but then I got in the ring and it didn't really work for me so much, but I mean it was so, but the whole thing is that I finally found my niche, and going into this, and so things changed. And so my point is that going into this is like, different guys, they can't do the same thing, make it interesting, make yourself interesting. I was just saying, like a guy like with the 80s guy, like, it wouldn't be a bad thing to see him, turn heel on guys, with him being so over. I mean, look at how Bob did it, and that doesn't necessarily mean, being mean to people or cursing at them or just being disrespectful. Still be the '80s guy, but be that bad '80s guy because you know how to be the bad '80s guy, and just different things like that. People just gotta change their ideas, change their perspectives. That's just my opinion. No, it's good. It's good, bro. I mean, I was just trying to think of like other people who have done that and been successful. Foxy Hot occurs to me. And what if like somebody like Ada played a hit role? Well, maybe that wouldn't work for somebody like it could work. I mean, she could probably pull it off. I think that would be funny as hell to see Ada being bad, but it's just what she has with Yosi is like so pure, and I don't think that that would. I don't know if that would be good. I don't know. It's just interesting though. It's a great thought process. People changing roles, not necessarily even changing roles, but just evolving. Into something new. Just having more depth to your character. That's the whole idea about it. I mean, I was listening to the Lake Skeleton, podcast last night live, and it's just like listening to Tony B talk about all those different voices, and it's just like not only can there be so much range with characters here in XTV, but there can also be so much more range with the storytelling. You know, for people who don't know, I mean, talk about like your career. I mean, talking about like how you first got things started off. You were like a guy who, came from Romy's camp. You were like sort of under his umbrella, and then it kind of goes from there, right? Yeah, I was a part of the this demo game. It came with let me see. There was this demo. I can't remember where that demo came from. I think it was a Crash Bandicoot Warped, or maybe it was one of those gimmicks where they have like several games on a disc and you can only play the first level, or something like that. And that's how they found out, about me, Spyro, the dragon, and they took on to me. They liked that 3D thing, and everybody, talks about how at the time, we just wanted to be so much like, Super Mario. Everything wanted to be like, have that 3D feeling, which could never happen. But this was something that kind of had that. I feel like what my show lacked was the music. To me it was just too kind of soft and classical. And we were teenagers. We wanted something that was hard and guttural, or just something that was live and exciting. And Mario kind of provided that. It had like cool tunes. And so it was all right. Well, I remember like it being such a struggle for you. In the beginning, it was a struggle. It was I get past the first level, and I think that what kept me alive was the just the sheer fact of wanting to get to the next level and the next level and seeing how far you can get on the game. I think that that's just what kept me alive, because if I was left to my own devices, man, I was the shits. The guys would just come in and crack on me, and without me realizing, in the long run, looking back, that's kind of what helped me, get over it, or not necessarily over, but keep my name, NXTV, because I was always a part of the show, in some form or another. Yeah, you were even a part of the last XTV Mania. I think you introduced everybody. Yeah, and I think I might have did the main event. I might have announced the main event. But you just do those sort of things, just to make it its own thing. At least, from our perspective, it's just like, everybody's there, type of thing. Yeah. And so, I mean, throughout your years, I mean, like, how did you feel like, coming into this thing, like, and being a part of it? I mean, seeing it for the first time. Well, it was intimidating, man. And that's how I remember that vividly, and that's how I can relate to these kids nowadays because, it's so tough. You know, I was just talking to Kareem Strong the other day. Who's another guy who, you know, feel like feels like he could have got such a bigger break, and he had so much potential. I mean, you looked at him when he first came in, and he was a big deal. But what the problem with Kareem was? It's this his story couldn't be told. In between all of the excitement of all these bigger guys, he was overshadowed, and he was great. He had the rivalry with Jasmar, and Jasmar was able to pull through because of course he's affiliated with Man, so of course we're gonna see him, and we know he's with Man. So everything he does, hold on, everything he does is documented as a Man move, or looked at it as a move by a member of Man, so to speak. And so, that's why that, works out with him. But Kareem, he doesn't really have any affiliation besides JJ Strong, who at the time, was just an announcer. I mean, JJ, was just starting to, become a big deal in the in the more recent years. I see your point. And then, you have somebody like Jordan Strong, who by the time she comes in, she's got, but it's kind of hard, when you have, when you look at the flip side of that. I mean, you have to live up to a name, you have to live up and be, as good as your predecessors. Yeah, yeah. Jordan, she did a great job, and Kareem, he tells me, hey man, I'm gonna just take my run and and own it this time, and I'm gonna prove to people why I'm important. He's not hating on his sister. He's proud of his sister. He shows her love. Because she's great. I mean, she's a natural talent. She just dominated the women's division the last time she was here, and really made herself. Really made herself known and very special. Very interested in seeing what she does this go around when she comes back to the ring. And just everything in general. Yeah, that's really cool, man. You definitely seem like you're focused on this. Oh, 100%, 100%, man. I mean, it's my life. It's what I do. Um, Tiffany Major, who you married, your wife. I mean, she had a pretty classic role here in XTV on the East Coast, more so than overall. But she was just like she really owned that role. Like, do you think that she'll be like a part of things too? Oh, most definitely. We definitely want to take that women's division and make it very interesting. Because the women have always been you know just like the most exciting thing on XTV, at least in my opinion, they have. And Tiff is definitely trying to, up her game, and she's full of surprises as well. As far as the women, girls like I can't remember the Japanese girl's name, but we were looking forward to bringing her back. Shima Sanshiro. That's her name. Oh, she was great. Yeah, another girl, who just, couldn't find her way to the top. But, no doubt, a great talent. A girl like Cambria, you know, just so many girls. Do you think Isabella will be a great fit for that? I think she'd be a perfect fit for that. You know, to just show off the personality. Shine. You know, you don't have to stand next to the big stars now. You don't have to be overshadowed. This is just the perfect time. You know, for those type of guys. And so, I mean, who are some other West Coast guys who, in your opinion, you've probably seen in the ring and think that, could have a shot, or could, you know, benefit from being in NXTV? Um, well, it's hard to say, offhand. We've just been focusing on, East Coast guys right now, but I mean, offhand, definitely, I mentioned, a Monsters Kid, definitely think that he can, be a big deal, and why not have Renee Young as our backstage announcer, doing things. Um, some of the older guys, maybe Moonsault Kid, maybe he would be like a awesome fit, for this. But it's more so about just brand new talent and just like brand new ideas. Something kind of off the wall or whatever. And this creates dream matches. Because these guys get over and now you want to see them go up against Yaki Naiji or you want to see them go up against somebody like the artist. Who just are staples. Hmm. So that's more about like like in the day, back in your day and during your time here, because I feel like like you came up during such an interesting era, like your time is like 1998, 1999. Yeah, like I came towards the tail end of all that stuff, of all that, Super Mario thing and that type of thing. But I feel like I came, at a great time. I'm very blessed, to still be able to have a name in XTV, and this is gonna further cement my legacy as being the man in charge of NXTV. Hopefully, I hope for that. I should say, because nothing's guaranteed. And like we said, it is an idea, but yeah, man. I'm just happy to be a part of it. I'm very, like I said, I'm very blessed. Yeah, you're definitely very blessed. I mean, this house is huge, bro. Tell us about like your relationship to Roman because I know that like he's like been a big part of your life. Yeah, he's a huge part of my success. Period. He gave me that opportunity. Even though he's the one who used to chew on me and stuff. Him and him and Dee Dee. But and it's like I said. I looked back on that and I was able to realize that that's what helped me. Those guys were putting me over. By bashing me. Those guys gave me my name. Um, and he's just been a tremendous contributing factor all my life. He's got an interesting style, and his relationship with everybody is very different. He invited me into his house. I lived with him. That's why I couldn't really do anything about him feeling him doing just calling me names and stuff, even though I would get into my feelings and stuff. Uh, but they would do ribs on him. Coco, she would always take up for me. She always had my back and stuff like that. She adored me, and she's a great friend of mine as well, who I talk to a whole lot. Tigger, Tigger, also a great friend. How is Tigger? Tigger's old. I'm joking. I'm joking. But no, he's great. He's great. Just everybody. Do you talk to Justin? I talk to Justin every now and again. You know, Justin and I, we don't have no issues or nothing, but we just don't really talk that much. That's awesome, bro. It's just like, you're a part of that old clique. How is Spark? Because he was like a part of your show. Like, you made him interesting. Yeah, I can't remember where we got that from. I don't know if that was an original idea or what, but I had the little sidekick Spark, and he would do different things. I think I kind of got that from Romy, because he used to have Justin, and Justin would pop up, and he was like the sidekick, and so I had Spark, yeah, and yeah, Spark kind of helped me. I think I used to get mad at him or something, but it was cool to have a buddy to play off of. Well, yeah, man, this has just been great sitting here talking to you, bro. Do you have any other ideas and stuff about NXTV that we don't know about? No, that's pretty much it. I mean that's just the gist of it. At the end of the day, I think that it's gonna be a great piece of work. I think a lot of guys are gonna benefit from it. I think it's gonna be very interesting, and I think it's gonna be a whole lot of fun. All right, bro. Well, there you have it, Darren 3D. Thanks for sitting here, man. Thanks for being a part of the show. I'm so super high.
All right, bros. There you have it. Darren the Dragon, 3D, cool as ever, bro. Commissioner of NXTV. I mean, that's huge. That's crazy news, bros. Looking forward to hearing your feedback from this iPod. Did you catch the Amen Nation one? It's like crazy. I mean, the crazy stories. Amen, King Kong, Yosi, Johnny Polo, the original crew. I've had Sally. That was a huge one, biggest one yet. Still, the Sally Crawford podcast I did. If you haven't gotten a chance to go back and check out some of the other ones, I've had Yaki. I've had not Yaki, where I sat down with B-Boy, Foxy, and Bobby, and then I also had I had Justin, I had Romy. Go check out the Mall Bros. I feel like I'm on a roll. Nothing but the best guests, the hottest content, and the type of stuff that we want to talk about, and just the type of stuff that is thought provoking. So I appreciate it, bros. Until next time, this has been Brian Millman with the New Millennium Podcast, and next week I'm going to be having an even bigger guest that I'm going to save as a surprise, because I don't want you guys to know about it. Just tune in. Not next week, probably next month. I think they're starting to do this thing monthly now. But still, we're on a roll. Daryl the Dragon, another one in the bag. Hope you enjoyed it, bros. Give me your feedback. I'll see you next time.
Download the New Millennium Podcast using the Torch browser. Go into Google and download the Torch browser, and then go into XTV East Coast and hit the New Millennium Podcast.